So, uh, so uh, Today let's see how we can create a calculator, which you find something in your PC. Like if you go into a calculator here, so you have this is a scientific calculator, but if you go into basic calculator, you have these numbers and you have these basic operators, right? So then the clear button also. So let's see how we can do something similar to this one. Not with all the functions, everything, but let's have very basic calculator created using a Windows 4, right? So we need to think like, these buttons we need to have like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and these operators like plus, minus, multiplication, and division, and then clear button, and then you should have some sort of a display. So let's see how we can do this one. So let me go into a Windows project. So so we need to go into a create new project, and we need to create a Windows Forms app and click next. So let's give a name, calculator. Right click next and click create. So this one we only need only one form. So the next task is I need to make sure this is suitably sized for my calculator. So then I can go into properties menu. There are various options like the start position. So I can say start center screen or something like this. Then this one says form 1. So I can make this one as a calculator. So here I can change the text property of this one. Calculator. Right, so it's calculator. So then there are other properties also I can change. Maybe I can select a better looking font also. Rather than using a default font, you can use something different. Right, so then let's make the toolbox active permanently. So to display my text, my results, I need to have text box. So I'll make it larger to accommodate. You can see in this text box, so I'll enlarge it. Right. Then I'll start adding my buttons. So let's go through the calculator and see. So I should start with 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, so this should be button 1. So text should be 1. So I can Control C, Control V. Second one should be 2. This one is going to be 3. This is 4. It's 5. So 6. So whatever the thing I copied, so let me do the rest of it. So until 9. So this is going to be 7, 8, and 9. And there I should have 0 also somewhere. So let me see where the 0 appears normally. 0 appears before this one. So 0 should be somewhere here. So I'll just select everything and move to the top like this. Or I can just move everything to the top like this. Okay. So I have all my uh, buttons are working. So then I need to name these buttons also. That's also important. So the first button, this one, I can say BTN 1. That means, but number 1. Second button should be BTN number 2. Then this one should be BTN 3. This is BTN 4. So naming is very important. Otherwise, we don't know which button is which. BTN 5, BTN 6, 7, 8, 9, and last 0. Right? Then, so this is my display. So this should also have proper name. So I can say txt display. So now everything is done. So when I click 1, so it should print 1, right? So when I hit 1 and 0, it should print 10, right? So we can see whether these things are working properly. So, okay, so I can go into this button over here. So code window. Then I can type txt display, it displays text property equals, first one is the, it should be 0. Which button is this one? This is about 1. So it should be 1. Should be 1. Right? So if I run this one, press 1, it shows 1. Right? So let's look at the code we put it into the first one. So we put it like this, 1. And number 2 button also, if I put the same code, and let me run and see whether it's working. So if I press 1, it's print 1. But when I press 2, so let me see what's wrong. Okay, I should change the code here. It should be changed to 2. Okay, let's run it again. So 1, it's showing 1, but when I press 2, it's showing 2, but it's supposed to show 12, but it's not showing 12. So it's showing 2 now. So if I press 1 again, it's delete the whatever the existing one. So to overcome this one, we can do some changes to this code. We can do it like this. I can say uh, change this code into the whatever the existing one, whatever the existing text, and that text at the 1, right? So whatever the existing text, add 1 for that one. So I want to do the same for the number 2 also. So instead of 1 here, let me have 2. So let me run and see. So when I press 1, 2, again 1, 2, so it's working. So now I can do the coding for the rest of the buttons also. Number 3 is also very much the same. So instead of 1, here you should have 3. Number 4 should be 4. Number 5 should be 5. 6 should be 6. And then the 7 should be 7. And 8 should be 8 here. And 9, we should have 9 here. And the last one, the 0, should have 0. Right? So now if I run this, I can type any number I want. Except for decimal. So decimal point of, so we are not going to do it immediately. So maybe the sometime later we can do that part. Right. So the next part is we need to have this add button or minus button. So these operators add, minus, multiplication and division. So let me add some buttons. So Control C. So this should be add button. The one, subtract. So let me. So the first one should be add. So we should have plus here. This one should be subtract, multiplication, and this is division. Right? So, and then I should have an equal button also somewhere. So it should be equal. So I need to properly name all these buttons. So BTN add. This is BTN multiply. So add subtract BTN subtract, then multiply, right? And this is BTN divide. right? So this is the last one is equal. Right. So then I'll do one more thing. I will make this display font slightly larger so we can see the things clearly. So this font text box. So I need to find the font, and I want to have a larger font, maybe 14 or 16. So let me make it more compact. Right. Okay. So then let's see what should happen. So let me run the program. So when somebody press 100 and plus, and then the second number should be able to type it. So when I press the plus, so it should be going to the memory. I should be able to type the second number, right? So the program needs some memory to store the first number, right? To do this, I can go into the code window and declare a variable which is available for all the buttons, right? So I want to have uh, variable which is, so this is the start of the class. This says public partial class form 1. So this is the start of the class and this is the end of the class. So I want to have variable which can be accessible for all these buttons. So this is the constructor. You can see constructor is having the same name as the class, right? So I can have, so I'll use a double type variable, double number 1, right? Then straight away I can initialize into 0. Then for the second number, because most of the time we should use number 2 also, so I can have second number also, number 2 also. So I have now two variables which used to store the values. Now these variables are available for the both all these buttons I have. Right. So when somebody click on a equal button, so whatever the thing you type should be stored into the memory. So I'll do like this. I'll go into equal button. So I'll get the what you type in the my number 1 variable called number 1. So number 1 is equals to txt display dot text. So I'm going to assign the value in there into this, but you guys know it won't work because there are two types of data. Number 1 is a double. This one is a text type. So I need to make sure this one is converted into a double variable, right? So now if I try to do this, you can see here it's uh, you can see cannot implicitly convert string to a double, and I can click show potential fixes. So I can only it's showing the formatting steps. So what I want okay, so what so, so having a double praise statement, and to convert the whatever the string value in the this one, so we can assign number 1 into the sorry, whatever the thing in the display into the number 1 variable. So after doing this, still we need to make sure the text box is cleared of anything else. So we can say txt display should be clear, right? So there's nothing's there. So we can call it like that. So okay. So let me try this one. So let me type 1 0 and then so plus, actually, sorry, this code should go into the plus operator, not to the equal button. So I made a mistake. So let me correct this one. So it should go into the plus button. So I control X. I can go into the plus button and add that code. So it will go into the this particular one. So let me run it again. So let's say 1 0 plus. So it's disappeared, right? So so the next part is going to be uh, we need to type the next number, and when next part what happens is we press the equal button, right? So let me follow it up. So what we need to do next? So 1 0 plus, then we type the 2 0 and equal, right? So the next thing what happen is that when somebody press on the plus button, that also need to remember, right? Again, let's try to recap. So when somebody say type 1 0 and press plus, so that the plus also need to be remembered, because after that you are typing some other thing. So to remember this one, we better have a third variable which is publicly available. So we can use something like char, character, or even string we can use. So we can call it as an operator, OP, right? So right, so we have a character operator, OP. So when somebody click on a plus button, what happens is it will remember which button they click, right? So they will remember OP equals OP. I have assigned variable OP equals the plus. So you can see for characters, I use single quotes, right? For this strings, we use double quotes. So to see that everything is happening properly, so what I can do is I can add a breakpoint here. Breakpoint means the program execute up to this line and it will stop. Then we can monitor what's really happening in the program, right? So let me run. So let me type two numbers, 45 plus. So now it's put a breakpoint, right, in this line, right? Now, if I want to know what's number one is assigned, I can move the cursor over here. I can see, so you can see it's assigned with a 45. And operator is assigned with a plus sign, right? So these things I can see, right? So so I know that everything is happening way I want it. So right. So the next thing user going to do is uh, type the second number and click on an equal button, right? So now we need to write the second one. So if I want it, I can do when somebody click on equal button. So I can have another line uh, to assign whatever the value user type at given time in the screen to number two. Then I can have third variable. If maybe I can have another variable. So this one is double result. Right. So now what I can do is I can check if operator OP equals plus. So it should be plus. So if the operator equals plus, then result results equals number 1 plus number 2. So else we can do something else. Then after that, we want to display that one into the display. I can say txt display dot text equals number 1, sorry, result. But here also there is an issue because results is a double. So I need to convert this one in result to a string. So it's unassigned. So anyway, let me assign something. Right. Okay. So let's see everything is working here. So only addition will work in this one because we didn't have any other codes. So let's see, type 10 plus 20 equals 30. So that means it's working. So we can put a breakpoint and see whether everything is working properly. So somewhere here I can put a breakpoint. You can run the program. 10 plus 20 and equals. So now I can see number 2 is assigned with 20 and the number 1 is assigned with 10 and the result is assigned with 30 and the operator is we can see it's plus sign. Sorry, operator. So here is plus sign. Right? So it's working only for addition. So right. Right. So let's do the rest of the buttons also. I'll add one more button. Then you get idea what you need to do for other buttons also. So so this is for addition. So let me add coding for subtraction. So this is for subtraction. So I'll just copy this one, same code, paste it. So only difference is here, the sign should be a subtract, right? So same goes for the other one, the multiplication. So only difference is here, it should be the multiplication of the asterisk sign. Let me do it for the division. Division, right? Then I can go back into the equal button. I can continue this code here. So we have only one if, so then I can have the rest of the ifs also. I can say else if. Oops. So here I can have else if I can say if this is equals something else. Oops, I made a mistake. I want to control C and control V here. So this now it should be subtract. So it should be subtracted, right? So I copy entire line, control C. And the other one is a multiplication. Multiplication. So it should be multiplied here. Right? Then the other one is the division. Now in division, division. So else uh, okay so we can have some message saying uh, some message box show. So this won't happen, I guess, uh, or something. Right? So that's the end of a else if statement. So when everything is done, you show the whatever the results into the text box, right? So okay, let me run the code. Okay, I should stop the program. Okay, let me run. So some build errors. So I think I mistakenly add some curly braces when I do the so let me see whether things are working. 20 plus 10 equals 30, right? So let's try again. 20 multiplied by 2 equals 600. What went wrong? So I think we didn't. I didn't clear the memory, so this can be the reason. So let me run again. Whether this multiplication is working properly. Let's say 4 multiplied by 2 should be 8. Yeah, that's working. Now, if I try to for this number, so this will go as a number 2, so it won't work properly, right? So still it's all the old memory. So so let me have the clear all clear button also. So if you bit confused what happened, you can put a breakpoint and see what's really happening in your program. You can understand. So let me have a clear button. So this should be the clear button. So it should call as a btn clear, and the text should be clear also. C text should be C. C, right? So let me add this. So that means I'm clearing everything, the display, plus I'm clearing, so here. And the variables also I need to be pre-initialized, like number 1 equals 0, right? Number 2 equal also uh, uh, equal 0. And the result Okay, results is a local variable, so it won't be. You can see here I can't accept the result because I declare results as a local variable over here, right? So now it should work properly. So let's say 7 plus 2 equals 9. Then I can clear it. 3 minus 1 equals 2. Clear it again. 8 divided by 5 equals 1.6. Right? Everything is working properly as it intended. Right? So So there are some few issues in this one. Still, we need to sort it out. For example, if the second number is 0, when you try to divide it, right? So then it's you're not going to get a correct answer. Like let's say you try to divide 100 by 0, uh, then you get something like this, right? So it's not possible to divide. So you get the value of infinity for that one, right? So you need to prevent something like that is happening. So to do this, you can have a bit of error handling here inside the else if statement in the division. So I can say if number two equals to I can say equal to 0, equal to 0. So then I would prevent this anything happening. So uh, I can say I can give a message to user, message message box show with the error message divide by 0, or I can say error. Right? Else I want to proceed in a usual way. Else I need to usually proceed, right? So a bit of error handling here. So okay, so there's error. Maybe I missed something. Okay, semicolon is missed. Okay, right. Okay, let me run. So let's try 10 divided by 0 equals divide by 0, right? So then there are some other things also we can do. We can change some properties of the form to look it's more attractive. So we have the start position set of the screen, and then we can have things like uh, if you want it, if we have icon, so we can download the icon and we can set the icon here. Then the maybe the back color also, we can change the border color. So we can say fixed 3D. So that way you won't, anybody won't be able to change the size of this one. Then we can change the control box. So control box, if I want it, you can make it false. So in that case, if you make it control box false, you need to have button to user to exit the program. So So you can change the back color into something different. And then you can have accept button. So accept button, you can have the equal button as accept button, right? So you can have the cancel button. Cancel button is the button clear, is the cancel button, right? So so let me change the way some of the buttons arrangement, so I can make it look better. So I can maybe this button also here, and this one also here. So if you finish with the program, I can select the release version. From here, I can select the release version, and I can build the project with the solution. Right. So now, if I go inside the location of this source files, so it's in, I think it's in C, the users folder. I think this is the account. Source, this folder, and my program, I think, is calculator, this one. Go to inside the bin folder. So you can see the project file and everything is there. So if I go inside the bin folder, you can see the both debug and release folders are there. So I'll go into this time, I will go into release folders because I and net 8 Windows, and you can see the calculator exe, right? So if I plan to deploy this one, so this is the folder I need to copy and paste. Now if I double click it, it will run the program as a standalone application. Right? So I can copy this folder, the release folder, this one, and deploy it. But we need to make sure .NET 8 framework should install in that machine. So only copy and paste in, we can deploy, no need to run a setup or anything. So it will work without any issues. So we can make it more attractive, this program, by having an icon. So you can see at the moment it's having a default icon. Right, so that's it. So you can try to do the other functions. Maybe you can try to learn about how to do other things like sign values, log values, how you can add those things. And there are shortcomings of this calculator. For example, when you press the equal sign, or when you press the add button, you're not going to see the previous number you entered. It's going to vanish from there. So that issue is like that sort of shortcomings are there, right? So in normal calculator, you can see what is the previous number in a small text, but that facility is not there. So very basic calculator, but you can think about, you can learn how to do the interface design, basic things, and maybe you can later you can try to enhance this thing.